Hey everybody, welcome back to Political Soul Food. I got another amazing guest up in here. We're about to go in it. I'm with Andreina. How you doing?
I'm great. Oh. I'm excited for this.
Me too. I'm
a chatty Kathy, so this is like,
good.
I feel like I'm just out with a friend. Like, what's up?
No doubt, and that's what it is. That's what we do. We politic up in here in Political Soul Food.
We
politicking. Listen, Andreina is a motivational speaker, professional dancer, and bodybuilder. She's a trainer. She can help get your mind and your body right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely want to listen, sit tight, grab a drink or something, call your friends, because we're going to have a really good soul food discussion up in here.
I'm excited.
Yes, me too. So
mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. Yeah. So, let's start with the basics. Where you from?
Originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Nice.
Born and raised in Greenpoint, Williamsburg area.
Okay.
But family is from Dominican Republic.
Ooh, hello.
So, yeah.
¿Cómo está usted?
Muy bien.
I gotta come. Bien, gracias. Bien, gracias.
Okay.
I'm trying. You need to tell my teacher to pass me. So you up in Brooklyn, representing Brooklyn.
Yeah, representing Brooklyn.
Okay.
Again, lived there all my life.
Yeah.
Dabbled in Harlem a little bit, Washington Heights, but I went back to Brooklyn last year.
No doubt.
And it's changed drastically, but I love it.
So, really? Yeah. So, what's the difference between Brooklyn and Harlem for you? Right? Is there a different vibe?
Harlem's changed as well.
Yeah, for real.
I lived in Harlem for a year, so I don't really know I can't really speak to the differences in general, how it used to be now.
Right.
But I will say a lot of more similarities than anything else, as far as the neighborhood kind of changing and the different types of shops, just culturally, some of the changes too.
Yeah.
I'd probably say there are more similarities than differences.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'll say in Harlem, I experienced there was more of a youthful energy to it. As opposed to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, there's a lot more families, I find, etc. So I found my home a little bit more was more so Harlem, to be honest with you. Harlem, the Heights. Again, it's more of the youth.
The youth.
But again, I still don't forget about Brooklyn, so I'm just saying.
Good. No doubt. Look, Harlem, we still got fam. She's so in love, but unfortunately, Brooklyn got a diamond up in there. So cool. So I want to talk a little bit about what you do and stuff like that. You do a lot of amazing things.
I do a lot of things. Where do we start?
And so let's just start off with what you're passionate about.
Wow. Loaded question. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about a lot of things. But if I were to give you, I guess the top on my list, I'd probably say happiness. As
all right.
simple of a word as it may seem. I think everything surrounds being happy in general. Right. But I don't mean just, who you're around, who you're with. Right. Or what job you have. We're not talking about those things. Just in general, self-happiness, if you will. Which I don't know if that's a term. I'm making it up.
Right.
But more so where you are in life, where you've been, where you're going, how that ties in. And if you're really satisfied with, the script that you've written for yourself. Right. Your life is essentially a movie, right?
Right.
So what kind of a person do you want to be in that movie?
Yeah.
What kind of roles do you want the folks around you to have? And what kind of a vision do you have for yourself?
Yeah.
So again, I think that all lies in what your definition of happiness is.
Wow.
So once you can define that, I feel like then you can get the goals and the thoughts kind of coming. So
that's interesting. So that's not the kind of happiness you just get from going to a party or.
I'm glad you said that. So when I say
big job or something,
right? Okay. When I say happiness, I more say of the longevity in happiness.
Okay.
Who can you be today that you can be every single day and be happy with, be content with.
Right.
If you can close your eyes at night and say, you know what, today I did an amazing job, whether it's something small like giving up your seat, or something to a larger scale like helping people with their health and wellness, things like that. Right. So I think there's no real measure. It's more so how you feel about yourself.
Wow, that's cool. When did you start thinking about happiness in this way? And is this connected to you as a motivational speaker?
It is. It's all connected. From the wellness to the dancing, to the motivational speaking.
Right.
The reason I chose those three items, more so they chose me, is really mind, body, and soul. The motivational speaking is the mind.
Right.
The body is the fitness.
Right.
And the soulful part is really my dancing.
Right.
So that whole triple combo kind of taught me a little bit about... triple combo. It's my number too.
Right.
Taught me a lot about being happiness, that it's a trio for me.
Right.
Getting this right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
More so tying that into your heart, and then also what you do for fun, what livens you up, what loosens you up, whether it's going out to a lounge or dancing or painting, what gets your soul set on fire.
Right.
So that's kind of been my vision. Is
what gets your soul set on fire?
Yes. For me.
Yeah.
We starting early.
I know. We jump in it.
I'm only drinking water. So, what sets my soul on fire? What really sets my soul on fire is seeing folks have aha moments, I call them.
Wow.
With what I do, whether it's the dancing, again, the fitness, motivational speaking.
Right.
A lot of times folks deliver their challenges to me in such a way where while they're talking, for me, in my own purpose and where I stand, I can hear the sadness.
Wow.
I can hear the pain. I can also kind of feel it. And being so in tune with not only where my mind is and where my heart is as far as vibrations, I can kind of guide someone into looking at things a little bit more positively. There's always a positive side to every situation, I feel.
Right.
So seeing folks turn that light switch on and going, I've never seen it that way. That right there.
Right.
It really sets my soul on fire.
Oh, wow.
Because it really takes that switch to get you going in the right way.
Right. So you really care about people. That's interesting.
Yeah, I really do. I know what it feels like to not be cared about. Or so I know what it feels like to feel like you're not cared about. Let me phrase it to you that way. And kind of feel like you're out of hope, if you will. Where nothing makes you happy, whether it's your relationships, your family, schooling. I know what it feels like to just not be happy with anything. 2014 was a big year for me.
Really?
Yeah, where I kind of hit down in the dumps, from an unhealthy relationship, an abusive relationship. Family issues weren't going well. I wasn't happy with my job. Had like a 9 to 5. Just nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but for me, it was just a stressful time for me. And I remember thinking that everything around me was pretty much shitty.
I hear that.
It was just terrible.
Yeah. Wow.
And again, what causes my fire is to get people out of that moment. Because I taught myself how to get out of that.
Wow, that's what's up. Okay, we got a gladiator up in here, y'all. We got a gladiator.
I like that gladiator. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, all right, no doubt. That's what's up.
Like, I want to be one of those girls with the muscles.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the muscles.
Let's talk about the muscles.
When did you want? You know what? Oh, she got some muscles, y'all. She don't play it. This girl, she's fit here, no doubt. Show them it's good.
What about the muscles? What do you want to know?
When did you get, into the muscles?
If anyone knows anything about bodybuilding, one of the things they say in bodybuilding is breakups make bodybuilders.
What's that?
Breakups make bodybuilders.
Whoa!
It's a little silly phrase, but essentially I was in a 7-year relationship, a super long time. What kind of grew into myself, if you will, started off the relationship as one person, kind of pretending, if you will, to be this person that I wasn't, just for the sake of, naturally your surroundings, the people around you. And again, I realized my aha moment went off when I said, I think the decisions I'm making are for everyone else and not for me.
Right.
So I think that's why I'm feeling a certain way. So 2014, huge year, ended my relationship.
Wow.
Left my job.
Wow.
Got a new job. Moved out. I had been living with my family at the time. Sometimes that's also stressful. And took the money that I could, got a couple of gigs here and there, saved up, and I moved into a room in Harlem. Oh wow! That's around the time I met you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and went to the gym as a stress relief. I said, you know what?
Wow.
At the very least, I've lost everything. You know what? The least I can do is go back to my roots, which is sports. I've always been an athlete. And hit the gym, got a membership. One thing led to another, met a person, and the rest is history. Yeah, but had I not felt miserable about things in my life, I wouldn't have chosen myself. I would have kind of continued into that rut. So.
It shows something proactive about you. Let's give a hand for that. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
That's a very proactive mindset because you basically transformed a sunken moment to a moment of dedication and focus and rebirth. That's what's up.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Excuse me. The fact that you said rebirth, that's kind of where my name New kind of came from, but kind of grew into that. So it started off as a joke, right? And my coach forgot my name at my first rehearsal. Not rehearsal, but more so posing class.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you, new booty, come over here.
Oh,
just, you're the newbie. New butt, come over here, new booty. One thing turned to another, but I chopped off the booty part. I didn't chop off the booty, I chopped off the booty part. And I stayed with new just as a concept that you can really change your old ways and make a new way of life. A new way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of eating. I literally became a new person.
That's what's up. That's dope. That's dope. Let's talk about new, right? So
I'm here. Hello.
Andreina has a program, an initiative about newness and rebirth and revitalizing oneself and growing, right? In every aspect. Let's get into that. So what is this new?
what's new?
Yeah, what's good?
So I do a few things, and again, we've kind of been starting up, so it's only been, well, not only, but it's been about 2 years where I've kind of developed my brand. Okay. It's basically, the brand is new, mind, body, soul. Right. So my triple approach is basically kind of talking people through their lifestyle, like what's got you bogged up? Is it a relationship? Do we have a family situation that we need to talk about? Are there issues with work? I think in my life, I've touched pretty much not everything, but predominantly most situations that are probably very, very challenging, specifically for women. And I utilize my experience in coaching when it comes to motivational things like mental health awareness, body image issues. Some women who struggle having platonic relationships with men. They don't think it exists. It exists.
It exists.
Of course it does.
So you don't have to look like a monk or a nun?
You don't have to do any of those things. So it's predominantly focused around that. So I do the personal training as well, but I take more of an approach of getting to know my actual client. What's your lifestyle like? It's easy for me to give you some workouts and have you give you instructions. But for me, my brand is not about giving instructions; it's about guiding. So I think you could consider it more coaching than anything else.
I dig that.
And then kind of using my words and the power that I have in my voice, or so I've been told, to share that amongst the training. And the soulful part being more so, what do you do for fun? You go to work and you're in a relationship. What do you do for you? Figuring out those things, and I think balancing or guiding the person into balancing all three. I think once you have them all balanced, you really can live an even keel, happy lifestyle.
Oh wow, that's what's up. I want to come back more to new.
Yes.
But I definitely don't want to leave out the dancing, because you dance.
I do.
You did ballet or something like that too?
I've done a lot.
Oh, wow.
So the dancing goes back to about 6 or 7 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
my
talking
goodness.
Classic Dominican family.
Wow.
It could be a baby shower, someone's birthday, any excuse to have music on.
Right.
We're dancing.
Right.
And you dancing.
Right.
You just learn how to walk, you're also dancing.
Wow.
So I started very, very young naturally. I took a little bit more serious when I got to college.
Okay.
I got into some salsa with my brother, who's an amazing dancer as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, amazing dancer.
Runs in the family, looks like.
It does. So I've heard.
Okay.
Did some African as well.
Really?
Which was amazing. In Hunter College, I did.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ballet,
Is that where you went, Hunter College?
Yeah, I went to Hunter College at first. Yeah. I thought I was going to be a nurse. I guess, I kind of am in a way.
You're in the healing business. So.
I'm in the healing?
Yeah.
I'm more into the spiritual and physical healing.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what was I say? 15, got to Hunter.
Yeah.
Did some of the African, the ballet, did some jazz, some Latin jazz. Performed in the city for about 5 years with an ensemble.
Really?
Yeah, and then
you gotta show me some pics of this. I wanna see.
I have some videos to YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah, no doubt.
And also did for my sorority in college. We have a strolling team, which essentially is dancing unified in a line.
Really?
It's pretty symbolic. Goes back.
Wow.
And I did that nationwide. Won a couple of trophies.
Get out.
So yeah, I've just been dancing. I still do it now, just for fun.
Really?
I'll go out on a Monday night.
Okay.
Randomly,
I know you be killing it in there.
And I'll jam for 3 hours drenched.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Also have some videos on my IG with me dancing.
Oh really? I share with you. I need some salsa lessons. I remember a few years back, I went out doing the salsa dancing, and I ended up tripping people up. It was like I was playing soccer, yo.
We gonna teach you something.
Good. I need the moves. All right, so we got the motivational speaking, we got the bodybuilding, and we got the dancing, and all that put together created this amazing person we have here.
Thank you.
You know, and not to mention the kind of work you do. I mean, you're definitely intellectual yourself. A wordsmith, very analytical.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Good observation.
Oh, of course. No,
I'm watching.
Yeah,
always watching, listening.
I peeped that. So, all right. So let's Vika, you turn back to new.
Okay.
What would you tell people out here who might not know that something like new is useful for them? Like, how does a person get the clues? Because some people can live their whole entire lives without thinking about mental or physical health or therapy.
Right.
So what are some of the symptoms or what are some of the conditions in life that people should watch out for that should give them a cue to say, let me renew my life, let me reinvigorate my life?
One of the key things I would say is how you're waking up in the morning.
Right.
You know, a lot of folks say they struggle getting up in the morning. It's actually very psychological.
Yeah.
If you think about it, literally, every single day is a brand new day.
Right.
Yesterday's done.
Right.
Last year is done. Right. The past is no longer existing.
Right.
What's happening is today. The excitement you should feel from getting up. You know?
I like that.
And knowing that you've slept X amount of hours and you recharge your system.
Yeah.
You know, you should wake up and with a vigorous attitude, excited about what's to come and what to do. A lot of folks don't have that.
Yeah.
They tend to wake up in a more like, here's again, I gotta
Tell
go
me
to
about
work.
it. You're so right. Yeah.
And I think that is universal because we all wake up. If we don't wake up, then there's something wrong.
Right. Obviously.
Then we're not alive.
Right.
So I think that's a commonality we all have. How do you wake up?
Yeah, how do you wake
When you get up, how do you feel?
For sure. I like that, yeah.
And if you can identify and say, you know what, I feel okay. And then I invite you to consider, okay, you feel okay.
Yeah.
Really. Then I dive into the words. There goes the mindful part. You see what I do?
Right.
So it's more figuring out where's your soul at? How do you feel?
Right.
Once we can figure out how you feel, then let's talk about how you're thinking.
Right.
Because that's feeding how you're feeling.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. For sure.
And then once we do that, we take a look and go, when you get up and you look at yourself in the mirror, which I encourage everyone to do, take a nice look at yourself.
Mirror on the wall.
Right. Who's the fairest of them all? Are you happy with what you see?
Right.
The visual is a manifestation of how you feel about yourself.
Right. I like that.
You know, I tell people, it's a six-pack, right? The big six-pack, the big thing that people are like, wow. If you think about it, it's just skin and muscles. What's the big... It's the meaning behind the six-pack.
Right.
It's the fact that you know the person that's walking in front of you. Wow. That didn't take one day.
Right.
That didn't take a couple of months.
Right.
You're not faking that. That's hard work. It's consistency and dedication.
Right.
And those are the things that people admire.
Right.
So when I say take a good look at yourself, do you see that in the mirror? Do you admire that about yourself?
Right.
And if you don't, then there's some work to do.
Yeah.
Some work to do.
We gotta do a system check, reboot.
It's like a computer
restart.
system. It's the same thing.
Yes,
what kind of apps do you have on your computer? There's some viruses on your computer that you need to remove.
Right.
Listen, your body is a machine. It is a machine.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Cool. We got some good soul food, some yams.
Spin gems.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting warmed up. It's the warm-up only. We ain't doing the working sets yet.
All right, that's what's up. I like that. All right, you know what? I want to take a turn a little bit. Talk about society.
My favorite.
I want to talk about the dynamics of women in our society. What's your take? Do you see a pressing issue? Or, how do you assess, where we are in terms of our appreciation or evaluation or treatment of women in our society, in American society, or in the Dominican society?
That's it.
Let's go there.
Day and night.
Oh wow, let's do that.
Day and night.
Break that down.
Well, I've actually, being first generation, my parents were born and raised in DR, Dominican Republic.
Wow.
I was born and raised here. Just some of the generational differences that I've had to. There were challenges for me at a younger age, were rather interesting. Specifically, what you've mentioned, which is female issues, right? I think here in New York City, for the most part, again, aside from your average New York City catcalling and harassment, but we'll get to that later.
We get to the cats.
We'll get to the catcalling later. I feel like there's a lot of, I see a lot of female empowerment around nowadays. A lot of the gender issues. At least there's some conversation happening.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, is it equal? I can argue for both sides. I mean, I consider myself definitely, I wouldn't say necessarily feminist is the word itself. I have my own issues with. Right. But it's just more equality overall with anybody. Whether it's sexes, you know, preferences, color. It doesn't matter. Yeah. We're all in the same game.
For sure.
Here.
Right, exactly.
Life.
Right.
So for me, more so, I'm trying to see how I tie it. So, American culture-wise, I feel like it's more so there's a diversity in it, right? As far as men and women. Now, with the Latino community, specifically Dominicans, Dominican Republic, my personal opinion, I think it's still a little bit old school, if you will. Okay. Where there's more of a sense of machismo for Dominican men. Yeah. Not all, not generalizing, but just in general, the culture is very much so still man head of the household, women kind of having the children, rearing the children, cooking, cleaning, which again, to each his own. Right, to each his own, right. But again, I feel like relationships in general, whether it be man, woman, man, however you see fit, it's more about the balance.
About the balance. Oh, that's a good word. I hear that word a lot.
So again, if you do have a female who's holding down the home and a man who's providing, if there's a balance there, then that so be it. So I find for me that my experiences here in the States has been more so that this culture, there's more of an actual balance. And I find that with the Latino community, there's still amongst the sexes, there's still that underlying rivalry of, you know, the men kind of run everything and are the breadwinners.
Right. Let's talk about the catcalling. Have you experienced that?
The question is, have I not? That'll be an easier answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it happens all the time.
Yeah, you know, and I'll be honest with you, I get some pushback, specifically from mostly men.
Really?
That will tell me, you know, well, I mean, you look like this. Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. I mean, what do you expect?
Oh man!
Right? You're or my favorite. I mean, you're looking for it. Yeah. And for me, I think that's more of an insult to men. I feel like
flipped it.
Yeah, I feel like it's insulting the same sex that's delivering it as far as catcalling because so you're telling me is you as a person have no self-control.
Wow.
And I know a lot of men, you know.
We need an amen up in here.
Yeah, men that do have self-control, that do have minds, that can make instant decisions based off of longevity in terms of what's right for them or what's not.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
And I know there's freedom of speech. Yes, I've gotten that argument too. Right. But I think if you pay attention to your surroundings, you can sense discomfort in a person.
Right, for sure.
So
yeah, that's,
you know, catcalling exists.
Yo, guys.
Yeah,
with the self-control,
they don't care for it.
Nah, they don't care for it.
No.
So what would be I asked this question before. What would be a better way for a guy to try to get a woman's attention or your attention in public? You know
honestly, your best bet, and this may be the 675th interview to say this, but just be yourself.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing like it. There's no imitation, no matter who tries to be like you. Yeah. There is no one like you. So you're already winning by being you. And here's the best part: if the person doesn't receive that, then you know that you know that there's no connection there, and it's genuine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But if you're approaching it with a facade or with the best foot forward, it's not only not sustainable. But then you get to kind of become a surprise for the person, which in turn that's where some folks feel a little like cheated, if you will. Like, hey, I didn't know you didn't. You were eating French fries before, and now you're telling me that you like to eat healthy. Like, why the change? Just come out with you.
Right.
So I think not trying to be liked, but just be.
Right. Just
let the liking come. And if it doesn't, guess what? So much more out there.
Wow.
There's so much more out there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Is there an ideal relationship that you have in mind, or in general? How would you?
Ideal relationship?
Yeah. Like, what's an ideal relationship?
Ideal.
I know you mentioned balance. Like.
Yeah. Ideal relationship is a good one.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm going to say a couple of things. So first and foremost, definitely someone that brings out the strengths in you, highlights them.
Okay.
someone who's your cheerleader has to be in your corner.
Right.
Whether you're doing music and I'm doing dance, or whether you own your own business and I'm a bodybuilder.
Right.
We don't have to be in the same field.
Right.
But I believe in your vision,
right.
and I'm going to cheer you on. I think it's important to have cheerleaders in your corner.
That's what's up, yeah.
And if you have a partner, who better to have as a cheerleader in your corner than the person that you love?
Right, that's what's up.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have the public, which is nice, but someone that you can share your deepest and darkest secrets and everything else, I think it's great. Ideal. Someone that you can play with their weaknesses as well. And I'll say how play.
Yeah, okay.
I say not only understanding them and accepting them, right? You want to accept people for how they are, but also understanding that when it comes to those specific things, that's just how it may always be.
Right.
Remember, you can't change anyone but yourself.
Right.
So understanding someone's challenges and knowing that, you know what, if you just don't change the toilet paper and that's just your thing, then I'm just gonna change it.
Right.
And that's just how it'll be. And there's no point in arguing over that, because you'd be surprised what people argue about when you're together for a long time.
Yeah, I can imagine some small, some crazy stuff, right?
Like, I told you not to put this cup here.
Right.
What I tell you? So I think it's understanding the strengths, admitting the weaknesses to each other, and last but not least, the trust. I mean, I say this is my theory. When I meet you, anybody, you're automatically at an A+. It's up to you.
That's what's up. I like that.
You keep it.
I like that.
That means I have to do nothing but watch.
Right. You start off with the A+.
You start off with A+. And people say, well, that's a little... What if someone takes advantage? There's no such thing.
I like that.
There's no such thing as taking when you're already full. I have to sign off on you taking anything from me.
Right.
And if you do something that I don't like, disconnect and you move on.
Right. That's
again, happiness though.
Yeah, the happiness.
When you're happy, you know that what gets taken is not missed. It's what's coming that's missed.
Right. I like that. All right, this is good, y'all. Listen, let me get a little something.
Chatty Cathy.
Yeah, no, this is good. We're gonna be chatting up a storm.
But again, my idea of ideal relationship in general. So different opinions, but that's fine.
Yeah, and I think it's very insightful. I mean, there's a lot here that people could take and use, obviously in their own way. There's sort of like a vitamin that can at least help them improve in some way. You know, overall. I want to get into like society at large. You know, things have been changing. You know, Harlem's been changing, Brooklyn's been changing. What's your thoughts about present politics in our country? You know, just pick your brain on that a little bit.
The topic you don't talk about. The one thing he's gonna bring up.
Religion and politics.
No, it is politicking. So
I mean, we can slide through it a little bit. But,
so politics in general, we're talking government or
like society and everything. You know.
I mean, listen. For me, it's this, because I'm into this positivity, and I live, breathe, and eat it. Really.
Right.
I think what's happening now, as challenging and terrible as it's been portrayed and seen from, you know, our presidency to current political issues that are out there, things that are going on in other countries. I'm hopeful that things will grow, because I feel like we're in a country where, I mean, how many years ago did we not just have, well, you know, wouldn't be able to vote, and now I can't.
Same
we've always gone up.
Right.
As much as we've seen it look otherwise, you compare it to before, we're not going backwards. Right?
Yeah.
Now, how do we have roadblocks? Yes, we do. Do we have things to work on? Of course we do.
Yeah.
But I definitely am happy that we are talking about the issues. I think there's a lot of things going on, from, again, our presidency to racial issues, you know what I'm saying? The things we've seen, unfortunately, gun laws, gun topics, what's happening in Puerto Rico. I mean, there's so much going on, but I'm glad that there's conversation, there's dialogue on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people may say, oh, well, big deal, you talk about it, so what? That's not action. But there's so many significant people that did a whole lot of talking. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, I don't need to go through the list. I think we all know who they are.
Yeah.
They started talking.
Started talking.
Easy so, they didn't just come out with a book. They started and said, I feel like I have something to say. Right?
Yeah.
And it started off with a couple of words here and there to a couple of people who spoke to a couple of people.
Yeah.
etc. So I think starting the conversation starts change.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we're trying to do up in here, political soul food. Starting the conversation. What my girl knew. Andreina.
So that's what I think about politics right now.
That's what's up. What's up.
Yeah.
That's good. I want to get into a couple of sticky issues.
I like how you introduced this everything. Slide it. It's like the slide in the DM.
No doubt. One is the dynamics of race within like the Dominican, Latino community and the African American community.
Oh my God, great question.
So, what's up? Somebody, I talked to a couple of people.
Okay.
And, I know it can go in so many different ways. But what's the overall, I don't even know how to ask this question, so I'm going to try my best.
Dámelo.
Sometimes I can see a little disconnect between African Americans and, let's say,
Latinos.
certain Latinos.
Right.
What's up with that? And even among certain Latinos.
Yes.
I see, like, there's different, levels.
Two things. There is.
Right? So what's up with that?
Absolutely correct. I'll start with this. It's not, my opinion, it's not that much different than what's going on here in the States, where you have a divide, right? Left wing, right wing, black, white. Everything is some sort of polar opposite, right? Well, mind you, it's the human race.
Right,
but whatever, we'll get into that later.
Right.
Within the Latino community, I think we also historically have some issues where we've also manipulated or have been manipulated, depends on your stance, our own history to think that we have no black heritage. I mean, unfortunately, I'll be the first to admit I have some family that will not admit that they're black.
Wow.
Mind you, the Dominican Republic has a very long history of, slavery and there's a lot of history there combined with Spaniards and African Americans. So by sheer historical purposes, combined with just even looking at some Dominicans, there's black influence there. You know what I mean? The music, the culture. So to hear my own family kind of express to me, not all but some, that they're not black is pretty phenomenal to me. But again, I think historically in general, we've all kind of been lied to a little bit. Right. So, I mean, can you really blame people that don't know, that don't understand? You can, ignorance. But at the same time, that's why I like to do what I do. To have people see, I'm a Dominican American, I consider myself an Afro-Latina, definitely. Wow, okay. I definitely do.
Holla.
My African roots, I mean, you have to see me do my stuff.
Okay.
I do. I love black culture. I love everything about it, music-wise. But I love the Latino culture as well. So for me to say I don't belong to one is kind of like denying myself.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, again, but I think the conversation's happening amongst the Latino community. Right.
That is true. Yeah, it's happening.
You have people like Cardi B.
Yes.
Huge now, but is bringing up this issue of being African American, Caribbean, and also being Dominican, and how that plays in. So, again, I understand why people would exclude it. Right. But know your history, do your research. Yeah. And be open. Be open to things. Right. Be open to hopefully I'm opening up my family's eyes by doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm sure you're
all I can hope.
A beacon light of insight. Yes. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that came up in a couple of conversations and also a few experiences of mine, and I figured I'd go to the source and get a perspective on that.
Yeah.
So now, I guess I'll step it up a little bit more. we politicking. You know what I'm saying? We just doing it. We doing it. I want to bring it back to you a little bit. So, what's the 5-year plan? What's the 10-year plan?
Oh, God.
What's good?
I didn't read my book.
Oh, it's in a book?
It's in a book.
You got chapters.
Yeah, journaling is really important. 5-year plan. Here, I'll be honest with you. 5-year plan, I'm very, very spiritual. I'm very about energy. So I guess I could say it's more of a dream for me. More so than a plan. I think planning.
I like that.
I never planned to be where I was today. I thought I would be married with kids.
Wow.
Living somewhere in Long Island. That was my plan when I was 21.
Wow. How many kids you had in mind?
3.
Oh, wow.
Right.
you had a clear picture.
Let's take reality now. 34, no kids, living in Brooklyn in an apartment. So, I mean, you know.
But you got the triple going on in your life.
I do
got
have
the triplets. You got the
triplets. And I was born on 3-3. So
word? Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
But no, seriously, the 5-year plan, I'd probably say I'd love to own my own business.
Okay.
Maybe some sort of a wellness center where you can come and talk about, again, the 3 things that I provide. I'd provide a mind program, which is maybe group sessions for women and men to kind of review some of the things in their lives that are roadblocks for them.
Right.
Maybe some spiritual things like yoga, which would be for like the soulful part.
And
the body part, which would be, you know, physical training, whether it be having dance classes. I want a space essentially where you can kind of come, whether it's after work, in the morning. If you're someone who wants to just feel good in the morning and kick some butt, you can come in and trade. If you're someone that wants to detox from work and a rough day, you can come after work and do yoga, or dance class and spice it up. So think of it like like this lounge, right? Like a bar, except it'd be a wellness bar. Does that make sense?
That's nice, a wellness bar.
Instead of going to the bar to have drinks, it's like, you know, it's Friday night. My turn up's gonna be to turn down.
So what would that look like a little bit? Like I go to the wellness bar on Friday night, yo, what's up, bro? We're gonna be hooking up. Boom, boom, boom. We get there. So what's happening? What's
you
inside?
Get there, you're like, okay, we're gonna take the 7 o'clock salsa class.
Oh, okay. There'll be activities and things to learn and do with your body and your mind.
Right, if you want to do that, or you know what, we're having 7:30 a session about work-life balance. It's a big one in New York City.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people work. What do you do for you?
Yeah, what do you do for you?
Wellness center.
Right.
What are they having on Friday? Oh, Friday they're having a DJ.
Okay.
Where it's a nice place where you can go just mingle, meet like-minded people, but it's not your average wait online, get dressed up. Come like this.
Be real and who you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or Saturdays we have, you know, AM yoga or something like that. So I think it's collaborating with the community. I'd like to work with multiple facets because again, I don't do yoga and things like that. But it's bringing together the Latino and African.
Oh, that's nice. That's
combination.
Nice. Oh, I like that.
African dance class. You can come here
do
too.
That African dance class.
This is what I'm
saying. If you said
saying.
that, let me know because you know I play the piano. I could do some African, you know, some Latin jazz.
That's right. You told me you're Hector Lavoe fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been a Hector Lavoe fan for decades. Hector Lavoe is my boy.
See?
Oh, man.
So, that's 5-year plan. And then you said 10 years?
Yeah.
You got to be 44. I say 10-year. Ideally, I'd like to be traveling with my program. I'd like to take it to the Dominican Republic, to rural areas, maybe overseas, Europe. Yeah, places that, you know, although they may be, you know, necessarily in poverty, which again is another word that I use loosely, because you can have a lot of money and have poverty up here. I mean, rich is the man who has wealth and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Now we do want to manifest that into money, of course. But just don't think that if you have that you're rich. Anyway, but I'd like to take it into more impoverished areas to educate. Again, Latinos, minorities, us about taking care of ourselves. I think culturally, African Americans, Latinos, we're so hardworking and just in general about the community and the family that we forget about us. We forget what we put in our bodies. We forget what we watch on television. We forget about our views on society, you know? So I think just getting back into that and having someone from that looks like them go, hey, listen, you can also eat healthy and look great and feel great and you know, so I think it's empowering our own community.
Empowering the community. That's what's up.
I mean, I got out of it. I learned how to get out of it on my own. I don't pretend to think that it's easy. I really don't think so. But I think that's why I'm here. That's part of my purpose. It is easy for me to feel good every single day, no matter what happens.
I like that.
So yeah. That's the 5-10-year plan. Let's see what happens.
That's nice. Let me ask you a question. So this is pretty...
You're asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, politicking. Small license to ask these questions. Very dynamic mindset and understanding of life. How does your family react to this? You know,
family.
How do they respond? You know, like your mom or your DR people.
I would say. It's been a transition. At first, no.
Really?
I mean, I go, hey, Ma, listen, I'm gonna lift some heavy weights, get some muscles. I'll be right back. No. Muscles. That's for men. Men do that. Men lift weights. Oh. Right. Here comes the Dominican. Here comes what I was mentioning earlier. Stay in your lane. Yeah. You're in a relationship. They're not gonna like that.
Oh, wow.
Being exposed as a lady, you shouldn't look like that. There goes another, impression.
Yeah.
So a lot of that did get to my head. And again, parents always they think they're doing the best for you.
Right, for sure.
So at first it was a lot of pushback. I almost quit.
Oh wow.
But again, there's that little thing inside of me. I don't know what you want to call it. Call it soul. Call it purpose. Yeah. However you see fit. I know what it feels like, and it feels like there's something in there that does pull me to understand that. Part of what I do is making sure that if I was able to get myself out of this rut despite the no's, anybody can. You just gotta listen to yourself. You don't need anyone else's opinion. You really don't. You really don't. When you start to absorb others' opinions, that's when things actually slow down sometimes.
Right. So. Right. And I can imagine that many of your family and friends are now inspired seeing you leave the cave. They're seeing, new ways of thinking about the life, new ways of living, and seeing the benefits of that through you.
Well, it's interesting now because I'll go out and, whether it's a family function or maybe a social function, my mother's noticed, and my family in general, like people will say hi to me a little bit differently. I know a lot of more people, and because I'm a social butterfly. I don't know if you noticed. But part of what I do is it's very social. It's very personable. I have to be approachable. I have to be all these things, and I like being all these things. So there's the combo. A lot more supportive now.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Based off they see that I'm not, what they thought I would be, I guess, in their minds. But I think predominantly because I'm.
What were they thinking? Like you're gonna walk around like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that? Like,
you think bodybuilding? You think Arnold Schwarzenegger? And like I'm benching 350. I'm not benching anything actually. So I think I broke down a lot of those stereotypes though, to them to see fitness doesn't necessarily mean that. So I broke that. Right. There's not a lot of Latinas in the industry for the most part, I think, from what I've gathered. So it's breaking that barrier as well. Okay. So I think I've adjusted some of my family's thinking without trying to. I was just going for my own happiness. But it goes to show you when you go for your own happiness, you become contagious.
Yes.
To those around you.
That's right.
Those around you. So that's why your energy is your responsibility.
That's right.
Again, focus on you.
Focus on you.
A new you.
So you know what? I'm gonna focus on you right now.
You focus.
So one of the things I remember when we were talking, preparing for the show, we had a meeting, and then you were like checking to see what your intake was and certain things.
Oh yeah.
So you have like a set number, like watch the calories, boom boom. Like how do you work that?
I don't anymore. When I'm on season, which basically means I'm preparing for a show, aka prep. Okay. I have a routine that I do. I have specific calories, macros that I hit, which is proteins, fats, and carbs. Okay. So there's a number game involved. It's a science. Okay. But for the most part, I mean, this is my 5th year in the fitness industry. As far as bodybuilding, right? Always been an athlete, but 5th year in this. And I will say that you become so in tune with your body that I can just feel what I should be eating, just because my body's now on a natural clock. Right. So I've kind of cleansed it, and I've also trained it. Remember, the body's a machine. Yeah. Just like you can tell a computer and give it commands. Yeah. Very similar. Right. The thing is that we've been conditioned, in my opinion, as minorities, as Latinos, as African Americans, to be another way. And I think it really not only starts with the way you think, but also what you're eating. Right. A lot of our communities, I don't know if you notice, you have your fried chicken, your Chinese, and it's very consistent depending on the neighborhood you live in. Right. You move a couple of blocks to another neighborhood, there's a Whole Foods, there's organic places. Right. So, and I know it calls for supply and demand. Right. But there's also a thing to that. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you think about health and wellness, if your temple is absorbing, your temple is absorbing, for lack of a better word, trash. What do you think the output's gonna be? Garbage. I mean, you don't put in and what comes out is gold. It doesn't work that way. And if it does, you might want to rethink your whole system because it ain't real. It ain't real. Right. So again, I just think in terms of that, that's kind of
yeah. That's what's up. What's the typical routine that you do? Like, what kind of workouts you do?
Routine. I'm pretty much on a maintenance schedule right now.
Wow. Okay.
So I focus predominantly on HIIT training, which is high intensity interval training.
Yeah.
So it's essentially bringing your heart rate kind of to a specific point and then lowering it.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing that interval training.
Right.
Predominantly do that just to stay kind of toned. Mm. And if there's photo shoots going on, which the summer's coming up, I'll put myself through more of a 4 to 6 week phase, where I do a lot more cardio, a lot more HIIT training, and I'll do some pretty heavy lifting maybe once or twice a week.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah, just to get my lean muscle up and running. So.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's about 4 days a week I train right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Political Soulful family. This has been a full course meal up in here.
Yes, it's a 3-course meal.
Yeah, 3-course meal for sure.
We have the salad, the healthy eating, the meat and potatoes of everything, and a little dessert.
Oh man, this is better than my tostones and my yams.
I
know about tostones, mofongo. You know what I'm saying? I know a little something.
He said, the mojo.
Oh, word! I don't even know about that.
With like minced, it's like minced garlic with like
really?
oil.
Oh wow! Really?
Stop
that's
it!
What's up. That's
I can't eat any of that right now.
Word? You can't eat that, right?
And not that I can't. I do sometimes, but just so for me, again, it's a lifestyle and just the way my body functions.
Yeah.
The better I've eaten, just my mood. I mean, I'll sleep maybe 5 or 6 hours a day.
Oh wow.
6 hours is max that I need, and I'm just like this. This is me tired.
Oh wow.
You saw me earlier.
Yeah.
I'm on.
Yeah, you're on, girl. You're on.
Anytime you've seen me, right?
Yeah.
Starbucks, I'd walk in, I'm like, hi.
Yeah, no doubt. You be on for sure.
And people tell me, where do you get your energy from? When you're happy, like, how are you not energized? I mean, you have so much to be thankful for.
Right, yeah, especially when you're in tune with your purpose, right?
And listen, not always like this.
Right.
I have my days.
Right.
I know I start preaching and folks are like, wait a second.
Yeah.
So you never have a bad day? I do. But there's still great days because that means that there's opportunity to learn. Right. So there's great days and there's greater days.
Right.
No bad days.
Right. I like that.
Get out of here.
So we're gonna need some info. I need some info to put on the site when we post the video, so that people who are listening want to get down with the new program.
Yes.
And renew themselves.
Yes.
Hit you up for advice or consulting. So definitely, I don't know if you have a link now,
or
you can give it to me and I'll post it.
Yeah. Two things. Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram, New Mind Body Soul.
Okay.
New you spell with an NU.
I'm gonna put that up, y'all.
Yep. New Mind Body Soul, and then email that I use is missnewfit@gmail.com.
I got that Miss New Fit, and I'm gonna post that when we edit the video. So I want to get some dessert now.
Dessert time.
Yeah. So what I would like for you to do is. I'm always concerned about the youth. I'm concerned about everybody. So I'm going to throw it on you to give us some advice for our youth coming up, before we check out, get some grub or whatever. If you got some advice for our youth and thinking about, their lives and giving them a heads up to start thinking about certain things now.
Yeah.
In terms of their mindset and also what they're putting in, because our youth got a real sugar issue these days.
These kids, they look older than they really are, too. It's another thing.
It's a big thing.
Obesity is an issue.
Yeah, and diabetes in the African American community.
High blood pressure.
It's just going crazy. High blood pressure.
It is, unfortunately.
So maybe you can speak to that, a little bit.
For youth, how's this? So for the youth, a lot of things I would like to say, but the main thing, being youthful is a state of mind. Right. You can be, and I'm a living example, you can be 22 and be in the most unhealthiest shape of your life like I was. We're talking McDonald's.
Right.
It didn't matter if I was quote-unquote skinny. It has nothing to do with actual looks.
Wow.
You can destroy your body from within.
Right.
Diabetes has no color, race. It does not care. You can be black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You can be skinny. My family, starting with my great-grandmother to my mother, diabetes in the family.
Yeah.
It's one of my motives.
Yeah.
So I think for the youth is understanding that just because you're young doesn't mean you're invincible, and it doesn't mean that you can't be unhealthy.
Right.
It doesn't mean that all the drinking, all the smoking, all that doesn't catch up to you.
Yeah.
I'll speak from my experience. It caught up to me. I think mostly for me was the eating unhealthy in college. I thought I was young. Who cares? Rice, beans, chicken, everything. You name it, I ate it.
Right.
And thinking that because I was slim, it was fine. But inside, I was tired. I was always stressed. My anxiety was up the roof. I was so depressed.
Right.
Super happiest thing on the outside, and then behind closed doors, just miserable.
Right. Yeah.
And I think a lot of it had to do with what I was putting in my system. Again, trash in, trash out.
Trash in, trash out.
So I think for the youth, the earlier you can start focusing on your health, the more that. You can take that 22 attitude, be 34. I feel like I'm 21.
That's what's up.
You can't take that. I'll get on the dance floor next to any 20-year-old and get busy.
No doubt.
So for me, it's more so the youthful part. If you want to keep that and you feel great, take care of yourself.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
Now I want to do the other half of that. Somebody's in their 40s, 50s, like, damn, I wish I knew about the new back in the day. I'm right here. I love me some Coca-Cola. And
old habits. I can't change my habits.
My double cheeseburger, my Popeyes. What do you have to say? Somebody want to make a change, and it's kind of tough for them.
Tough. Well, tough.
Who are in a older age bracket,
Tough relative. So I have had older folks. I do train older folks. A lot of them do say, hey, my age.
Right.
I'm older. I've had bad habits for a longer period of time. But again, it goes back to age. Just because you're older, it takes one moment to change your life. It takes changing one way of thinking, one habit to change the course of your life.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're 20, doesn't matter if you're 40. I started fitness at 30.
Wow.
Which again, to some people may seem like, okay, that's kind of an odd time to start.
Right.
You didn't start super young. Yeah, it's not old, it's not young. But again, for me, I think a new way of thinking can happen whenever. I've seen people restart their lives at 50. I mean, I feel like saying, I heard a story once of the KFC guy that started his business, and his business flourished when he was in his 50s or something, at an older age. You never know. Yeah. You never really know.
You never know, yeah. I got a book called Late Bloomers that talk about a lot of the stories.
Right, and that's another concept too, late. Where's the timeline?
Right.
Do you have the timeline online?
Exactly.
Did they give it to you? Because I don't have it.
Because we all got our different paths. And,
we like to do the comparison. So I think your question is a little bit... it's a good question in terms of age, but for me, it's more so that could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
Because who are you comparing yourself to? A 20-year-old?
Right.
Where you've gained in wisdom, the 20-year-old has no idea.
Right.
So is it really behind, or are you just different?
Right. That's nice.
So never too late.
Right.
Never too late.
That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we up here with new Andreina, thank you very much for coming to the show. We chatting, politicking.
Love politicking
like we
with
do. I'm going to do a quick shout out to Hexagon Lounge, my boy Charles for letting us post up here. We've been doing quite a few shows here. It's a nice spot, got the bumping music.
I like it.
We got to definitely do a shout out to my political soul food crew. Got my boy Kev here, always holding it down for us. My boy Ibrahim is holding it down. And I definitely want to thank all of you listeners and viewers. Thanks for the support. If you got questions for Andreina, hit me up. I'm definitely going to make sure you get her info. It'll be on demand. And keeping with the theme Political Soulful, I got a gift for you.
Ooh. Namaste.
So here, my whole thing is like getting people to see the extraordinary in people's lives, and you're an extraordinary woman. You're an extraordinary human being. One of my particular interests is getting people to be more active in politics in their life in every way. This is my angle, and so this is a pocket-sized book of the United States Constitution.
Which will encourage me to read it. It's pocket-sized.
Well, hopefully.
I see what you've done there.
And it got some fascinating facts,
Okay.
Just want to thank you for coming through.
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you for sharing you and what you're all about.
Thank you. I love doing this.
Yeah. We definitely got to do it up, hit the road, and maybe, I can get you in action, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, that'd be cool. We could do something like that.
More to come.
Yeah, more to come. So, listen, everybody, peace and love.
Yes.
Have a great night.
Thanks for having me.
We out.